So this morning we left Jackson and decided to drive over to Dubois, and then we kept going to Fort Washimi,
Washiaki.
because this is where Sacagawea is buried. And so it took us a little bit to find her cemetery and where she is, but this is where she is. So in the center here is Sacagawea, who passed away when she was 100. To her left is her son, who was, if you know anything about the story of Sacagawea, when she was 15 years old, her husband, who was a Canadian trapper, was hired by Lewis and Clark to help lead them on the expedition. And it was good luck having her along, because then the chiefs from the other tribes would see it as a peaceful mission because they had a female Indian on the trip with them. And on the trip, she had a papoose, which was Baptiste, her first son. And so he was an infant when they trekked across the U.S. from the Dakotas all the way to the Pacific coast. And her son, Baptiste, was schooled by Clark, Captain Clark, after the expedition when he was a little older. And then she came back, she moved around different places, but came back and lived with her other son, who she called her adopted son, Basil, and who has been moved to also be here. So the center grave is Sacagawea. She was 100 when she passed away. To the left is her son that was on the expedition. He was 84. He passed away a year after his mother. And on the right is the adopted son Basil, who passed away at 86, 2 years after his mother. So the children didn't live long past when she passed away. A little further up the hillside is a statue to her and the story of the expedition. There's a really phenomenal book about her that I read probably 15, 20 years ago that starts out with journal entries and letters. And so for every chapter, it starts with either a journal entry or a letter that was written during the Lewis and Clark expedition, and then it goes into a chapter that tells more of the story of what would have happened at that point. So it's half fiction, half nonfiction, but it's an excellent read. It's a very thick book. It's like 400-page book, but it's really, really good book, good story of her life and all they encountered and how they, everything that they did to go across the U.S. and to really explore and open up the West. So Sacagawea, we're here in the Windy River Nation, I guess you would call it, about 100 miles inland from Jackson. So we're going to sit and enjoy this for a little bit and then head back toward Jackson.
And this is the Sacagawea Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the graves out here are
Native American.
There are two women right there that were killed by Shoshone? Sioux.
Raiding Sioux.
Raiding party of Sioux warriors. And they're buried here.
And then the building you see on the hill was where they held school for the Shoshone Indians. The Reverend did a lot of the funeral services out of there. He held church services. He taught school out of there, and they moved it out here to help preserve it. So the building is quite old. But as you can see too, the weather is maybe going to start to rain on us here. You can see it off in the distance to the left a little bit. So we'll go up and we'll just pause the video, go up and grab a little video of the statue, and then we'll head back toward Jackson. Okay, here is the statue of Sacagawea, and you see, sorry, it's super windy, it's Windy River area, but they do have the story of Sacagawea here, and then also more information about her over here. And then this statue was erected in her honor. So I'll do a quick pan of the area. You can see the storm coming in, but we sit up high on the hillside here, and so you can see a long way in the distance, but this is what the terrain looks like. The terrain changed a lot on the way here. We went from forest and snow-capped mountains and meadows to red rock to hills, and plains. So a lot of changes in the terrain. It was an interesting drive. We'll definitely post pictures, but beautiful drive, easy drive, and I got to see where Sacagawea is buried. I hope everybody's having a great day. We'll talk soon. Bye.